Welcome to The Point. I'm Eric Mitchell. My co-host Jordan will be joining us momentarily. We want to welcome you guys here. It's Friday. It's October 30th, the day before Halloween, 4 days before the presidential election, or what we've called a dumpster fire. Boot the orange guy and all his crackhead NASCAR friends. It's whatever you want to call Tuesday. It's election day in America. It's coming up. We got an exciting show for you on Tuesday. You're stuck with me, maybe some special guests. Monday, we have a hell of a show for you. But let's get to, it's our normal Friday. We've nicknamed it What, or WTF, happened this week. And of course, I'm joined by my co-host, the wonderful, hold on, it helps if I push the right button, my wonderful co-host, over, I always do that wrong. It's the left hand, right hand of that, is Miss Jordan Gelber. Jordan, how are you doing?
At least before the dumpster fire, we have Halloween tomorrow, which is the only thing I'm really looking for.
I was going to say, you're a big Halloween fan.
It's like the only thing that I care about right now.
Actually, I'm going to tell you what I'm excited for. I'm not going to lie. Mandalorian. What? I'm going to go binge watch that.
Yes.
Because it just dropped.
It did just drop.
It did. It's really exciting. Like, I've never geeked out this much in my life. Like, there was a part of me last night at midnight when I was still, everybody was asleep in my house, and I don't know, I was watching TV, and I grabbed my phone just to check Twitter one last time, and it said, you could stream Mandalorian now, and I was like, oh my God, it's midnight.
It's midnight.
It's midnight.
Just give me all that
like
goodness.
A kid at Christmas. I got all coked up. I felt like Trump Jr., and it was weird. So this week, it's our last week, Jordan. It's the last week of the election.
Of the world. It's the last week. I feel like we're about to brace ourselves for just, I don't want to say the end of days, but I feel like if you got enough cushions around you, isolate yourself.
I have a song stuck in my head for this. Right? Why is you singing this? It's like, it's the end of the world as we know it.
Because we're here all week, folks.
Tip your waiter or waitress and try the veal. It's really good.
It's really great.
But it's true. Yeah. It is. It kind of has that dumpster fire, Armageddon, end of days, end of work.
The purge.
Yeah,
it's called down to the purge.
Speaking of which, did you see, not to change the subject, but we're going to go with this. Did you see the creators of The Purge have created a movie? Michael Bay was involved. That, obviously. Oh my God, is based around COVID. And it's like helicopters and military and scanning each other and snitching on each other. It's basically taking every movie and taking everything we've ever seen and basically making our worst nightmare. I mean, it's what we're really close to already. They went and made a movie about it. It's really trippy. Great. Like, I was like, too soon, way too soon. Like,
I feel like, there's that movie Contagion that came out a million years ago that people were talking about in the beginning of quarantine. And now we're at the end of quarantine almost, but we're about to go back inside like little turtles. And, I've been seeing all these funny memes going around, and then every week a new crazy thing comes out. So like this week, there was the funny meme that I saw that was like, on Halloween, if a virgin lights the candle, the Sanderson sisters are going to come back, and that's going to be like the Halloween tribute to 2020. And then there was an announcement on the news that a rogue planet has just entered our orbit, and it's just like 2020. We're waiting on the aliens to come. Like, what else can we do? Well, first we have an election on Tuesday. So everybody,
Sorry, I'm laughing because I'm just thinking of all the shit I hear all the time. Because I'm waiting to wake up Wednesday morning and COVID be gone. Because
I know
we rounded the corner. We rounded the corner again. The corner that's more like a circle than a corner because it's back. I mean, let's talk about this.
Right before the election, can we talk about how it's like back right before the election?
No, it's not back. Junior with his coked up face on freaking Laura racist Ingram's show last night. And that's right, Laura Ingram. I just called you a racist. I did, because you are. Sorry, I'm just calling it like I see it on Friday.
Clown of the week.
No, she's not the clown. Oh, no. We have like a three-way tie, and it's going to you for the vote.
It's going to be great, guys.
It goes to you. I promise. You get final vote. We're doing it live on air. That's what we're doing.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm stoked.
Oh, you're ready. It's big, but So last night, Junior... Sorry, I get excited when I talk about Junior. You naturally do that, because that's what he was doing right before he went on. He went on and said, sorry, it's hard to believe because yesterday we had the highest COVID numbers ever in positive cases. Yeah. And his crackhead orange father said, it's because we test so much. We have the
Well,
best
no, we
testing
said,
in the
like,
world. We
6
test the
months
most
ago.
people. I'm like, okay. That COVID is going away. I'm like, if more people are dying, almost like 1,000 people again died yesterday from COVID.
Yeah.
We have more cases, spikes everywhere. New York, Oregon, Texas, everywhere.
Connecticut,
California. When we were in California last weekend, California Monday closed indoor dining, and they're all eating outside again. It's basically the same thing here, where they're putting those big white tents up are everywhere, being sandbagged. Now we get a lot of wind, and of course we live in the Pacific Northwest, so rain is huge here. And these people, I don't understand how people could sit there and listen to this. Oh, wow, I almost used the F word on my own show. Woo!
I would bleep you.
But I can totally do it, because on YouTube they allow it. Because we'd have to censor it. And I already say it's not safe for children. But I don't understand how these people can sit here in their free will and say COVID is gone, or it's going away. It's like, one, you guys have rallies that you put every little NASCAR boob with their stupid flags and all. They're all like side by side, no mask. They're violating the Hatch Act, flying military aircraft over it. And they're like, oh, Biden doesn't have anybody at it. No, Biden is using social distance and practicing what the CDC recommends, because he doesn't want to infect people and have people die. And I don't understand. It just boils my blood to see them. And it's like Fox is a breeding ground for stupid. I mean, you had Tucker for 2 days lying about this. Hunter, there's this zip drive that, oh my God, it has everything. It shows how bad Biden is. And last night, poop, they changed that story as absolutely fast as they could, because they don't have anybody. They never had it.
Yeah.
This October surprise that Trump was counting on that crushed Hillary in October, it doesn't exist. 4 days to go. 4 days to go, folks. 4, count them. If you haven't made up your decision to vote for, I hate to tell you, you probably have. Most of us have already voted. According to the numbers reported by CNN, a legitimate media outlet that doesn't always just kiss the president's ass on 24 hours notice and racist and everything else, they're showing the live voting numbers, and it's amazing. Texas is above its largest numbers that they've ever seen in voting. It surpassed 2016 already. Florida, California, Oregon, over 56% of the state of Oregon, with 4.7 million Oregonians in it, we've already voted, because we're mail-in. Yeah. We're the ones that do it. This is going to be big. And I'm not claiming I don't believe polls. I don't believe polls. I believe that if we all have a voice and we use it, we can get people out and shut them up. But there's this crowd that just listens to this orange guy and his pathetic, shady-ass family and his shady-ass friends, Sebastian Gorka, Rep Gates out of Florida. I hate that guy. Jordan, wherever the hell he's from. That one dude. I mean, guys wearing their
it's insane. It really is insane.
I mean, I'm not saying Biden's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Biden's like, my favorite. He's not my choice. But he's the guy that's so much better than Trump. At least he's going to take us out of this darkness that we spent for 4 years. I can't wait to have a president that's not running for office for 4 years, because that's all Trump did. That's all he's done, is work in fear, hate. He hasn't changed anything. I mean, he's ruining our planet. Let's just start with, we all got to live here. We're already seeing warmer temperatures than we've ever seen in our life, and was the hottest.
Which is crazy, considering that sorry to cut you off, but considering the fact on the weather and everything, that in the beginning of quarantine, because everything was shut down, the ozone was it was healing itself, and now we're back here.
Yeah, and as we're sitting here, we just had another hurricane blow through our country. Just hit Louisiana, caused damage, death. Again, another hurricane. I've never thought of a hurricane this late in the season. I mean, it's late in the season. I mean, the day before.
There's been consecutive ones.
Yeah, it's like every week. We have a hurricane in Washington, D.C. and a hurricane. So here's my question for you. We're talking about vaccines, right? We hear about the vaccine. Trump kind of with everything. His health plan, the vaccine, generally anything it's coming. It's weeks away. We have it. It's going to be here. It's going to be so great. It's going to be huge. It's not like China. But it all ends up being BS. At the end of the day, nothing happens. And they all just wait. Oh, he's going to deliver. Because Biden, he's 47 years. 47 years, he's done nothing. I'm like, he's done a lot. And yes, not
Is that
every
a lot?
decision, when you're a career politician, not every decision you make's going to be popular. And people ask me, and it's easy to hate Trump. I can start from just his treatment of the military, treatment of minorities, treatment of the LGBTQ community, treatment of our allies. This dude's bewildered. Just treatment of Americans in general, women. He hates women. I mean, he thinks they're beautiful. He treats them as sex objects. What I don't get is everybody has basically cut this creep a corner. I mean, it's because of Sarah Cooper's special, but Sarah Cooper had an amazing special on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But she redid, it's probably the best scene of the entire special. She redid the bus, the Access Hollywood bus that was that Billy, whatever that dude, the guy got fired. Billy Bush.
You mean George Bush's cousin, Billy Bush?
Yeah, Billy Bush and Trump having their conversation about women. I don't understand how he was elected off of just that. If I would have listened to that, I would be like, no. Like, I don't feel safe about, they're just all I don't know. I'm at a loss for words as we're 4 days away and I hear people like, he's just a good guy. He's done so much for America. Look, he's
so much.
We wear these hats. The hats say "Make America Great Again," and I'm like, how about make it good once? I'm like,
oh, how about the fact that did you see this week that that New York Post could be coming in on your clown of the week? That New York Post publicly supported Donald Trump this week. Make America Great Again.
Of course they did. You know, the Post, because they take that serious, because they always have serious articles in it. Because the Post, as a New Yorker, I'm sure you could support this statement. The New York Post is like that article. You guys are like, it's like one tier above the National Enquirer. Let's just be real.
Yeah, it's up there. It's like the New York City only version of the National Enquirer.
And do you trust anything in that comes out of the same building Fox News is in?
No.
That's where the Post is. I mean, does that?
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, yeah, the Post covers it. Great. That's terrific. I mean, in New York alone, some of the radio hosts that are allowed on the air are the most hypocritical people I've ever met in my life. So, Sid Greenberg, this one's for you. You've been a guest on our show before, Sid, and you are nominated as the douchebag of the month just because of the hypocritical things you do. Because, see, this clown has attacked the NFL and sports and said, I'm not going to watch it, but then turns out to watch it. He's a Giants fan, so no wonder they suck, because he's one of your fans. Giants, you might want to boot him as a supporter. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a freaking closet racist. Closet racist. He's a closet racist that sits here, and he's a Jewish American, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's amazing. Jordan, you know what I'm talking about. This man attacks Muslims. He attacks Muslims, Jewish people who vote for anybody other than Trump. So how are you telling me that you are a man of faith and, I take all of my holidays serious and I take my faith serious? So your faith makes you a bigot? What I don't understand is you want to know why everybody calls your president a racist, Sid? Because it's you. You're the racist. Quit saying that guy's a racist. Try it with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and go, why is my bald, unoriginal ass staring back at me that I'm really a racist? And I'm going to hide behind my faith and go, oh, poor me, but I'm going to attack my fellow Jewish people? That's dumb, bro. That's just so dumb. Is that what you were taught when you were like, hey, I'm going to go on, I'm going to be controversial? Oh, and who do you partner with? Newsmax TV and Liquid Lunch. Great. So the bookie outside the 7-Eleven in Staten Island who's selling freaking grass clippings and calling it weed? Great. That's what you're going with? That's what we're doing?
I hope they give him some Manischewitz, though. I hope at least at Liquid Lunch they give him some Manischewitz.
Who knows with Liquid Lunch? They're too drunk to know. And they're like, hey, how can we steal more from freaking To The Point? Hey, we're good at that. Hey, we'll go find this dude to do a sports show. How about have an athlete on? And how about not steal NFL property while you're doing it? By the way, if you ever watch a show and people are using video footage, you might want to make sure they have the copyright on it. It's illegal to use the NFL, NBA, or Major League Baseball, UFC, or anything likes images without permission from those leagues. Sucks when people report you. Don't know who would do it. Just heard it could happen.
Shucks. But
he's not the Jackass of the week. So Jordan, you get to pick. So I give you 4.
Okay.
I'll give you 4. One. My good buddy Sebastian Gorka. He's back again. He's saying stupid things again. Went after Admiral McRaven. Admiral McRaven was responsible oversaw the SEAL Team 6 that killed Osama bin Laden under President Barack Obama, who, by the way, has a vocabulary larger than 100 words, which was impressive. Served 8 years, and we didn't have any of the drama we have right now. Then Matt Gaetz, representative from the Pensacola area. I call him a Trump F-boy because that dude just, all he ever tweets about is Trump. Like, oh my God, everything, the sky is falling. I'm like, dude, do you ever work? Because all you do is tweet. Third, Sid Greenberg. You're welcome, Sid. And, he hasn't, I'm shocked he hasn't been named this yet, but Mitch McConnell.
Oh, you mean the zombie of the week? Mitch McConnell?
Freaking emperor. Like, now I know where in the last freaking Jedi they got the idea to bring back Emperor Palpatine, because that dude and his freaking chawed up hand and his little, and he's laughing, being disrespectful to Amy McGrath, a decorated United States Marine Corps fighter pilot who is running for his seat, and God willing she wins, because I don't know what's going on in Kentucky voting for that guy. While she was talking about serving her country, he started in that emperor laugh, like, I was like, are you the penguin and the emperor together, you creep? The dude is just, he shut down Congress for 2 weeks to take a recess while we go into election because they needed another break, because they had to rush through this cult member to become a Supreme Court justice. Why Americans, hi, voters, go and suffer for a week. Now, we will get a stimulus package for small businesses, for people who need the money through the winter. They won't see anything until early January, because if Congress comes back in, they're going to go back and forth. They're going to hate each other over it. Obviously, if President Trump loses, he's going to act like the 4-year-old that he and all of his children are.
That's what we're racing on.
They're going to sit there and they're going to try to harm the country for the next 30 to 45 days until January 20th rolls around. That's what's going to happen. Americans aren't going to be a priority. We've never been a priority. For 4 years we haven't. Mitch McConnell doesn't care. He's a dinosaur. He sits in that office. It's just disgusting. So those are your 4. I don't like Mitch McConnell. I don't like any of them. All 4 of them I've clearly bashed on the show. But.
I do have an honorable mention, and maybe this is because I wasn't here last week, but I have an honorable mention.
Ooh. Who?
Rudy Giuliani, because how about Borat 2?
Rudy.
We didn't have a little honorable mention, Rudy Giuliani.
Ooh, that's hard. Rudy almost automatically wins because Rudy has a couple things going in his favor here. One, how the hell do you fall for a Borat prank again?
Oh my God.
Are you that dumb? Like you were? And 2, Rudy was on a list that came back from our own federal agencies reporting that the Russians were using Rudy Giuliani as a pawn because he's so easy to tell. That's how this Hunter Biden information came over here. This trumped up crap. By the way, the person who came up with this isn't a real human. It's like a made up name. It's not a real person. There's nothing. Again, an October surprise that turned out to be another October dud. We've heard for years. We've heard for 4 years. Obama, and Biden were coming after me, and Clinton, we're going to lock her up. The shit the man says every day, lock her up. And I don't know why Trump hasn't made our list. How has he not made our list? I mean, I was
going to think about that, but I have a feeling, I want to say that he could be the clown of the week just because as we go to election, but I have a feeling that depending on how next Tuesday goes, he might be the winner for next Friday.
I'll give him something to win. That's my hope. If he's going to win anything next week, it can be Jackass of the Week.
Definitely. I think, though, before I make my decision, one thing I really need to say, because we also talk about entertainment in the show, but Sacha Baron Cohen coming in for the final curtain call right around the corner of the election. His ads in the city right now, he's got these billboards with that weird swimsuit thing, and he has in the crotch area masks. The fact that Sacha Baron Cohen then had a great speech at the Anti-Defamation League, bringing us all together with some laughs. Yeah, go him.
Him? And hey, while we're giving compliments, because we have opposite awards, I'm going to give to the folks over at Lincoln Project. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, Lincoln Project.
In Times Square, those 2 billboards. I love them. With Ivanka and Jared talking about how much they love New York, how many New Yorkers have died and how they feel about them, and ordering that the Lincoln Project take it down, and the Lincoln Project firing back. No, we're not going to. You're a public entity. You guys haven't removed yourself. So guess what? You get ridiculed, and it's okay. that's what I love about the Lincoln Project. That's what I love about Sacha Baron Cohen. It's what I love about Paul Rudd, who was just passing out cookies to voters in Brooklyn in your borough yesterday. That's what I'm talking about. It's motivating to see people waiting in line in the rain, doing their thing. I saw, people were attacking Chelsea Clinton for voting. And they're like, oh, like you really stood in line. And she's like, I did. Like, why do I have to justify how long like there's no front of the line privileges. You see these folks standing in line, Denzel and all the rest of them. It's just amazing that we live in a time where people are just acting this way as we go through it. We talk about entertainment, we talk about sports on this show all the time. We talk to incredible people. And it just blows my mind that some of these people live in this dream world where they just want everything to be bad, everything's horrible, and it's always attacking somebody. No one's ever wrong on the other side, ever. They're just always, hey, you guys are wrong. You're crazy. You're racist. You're liberal. You're social. I don't want to be a socialist. I don't live in a socialist world. I don't see how Joe Biden is going to make a socialist. And, before you, actually pick first, and then I'm going to go on it. I have another Eric rant to go on that you can.
I think that. All right, I'm ready because you know how much I adore your Eric rants. I would say Mitch McConnell because he just, tomorrow's Halloween, and I think that he looks so much like not only a zombie, but I've never seen someone so adamantly try to not admit they have COVID in such a deteriorating way. And I'm like, dude,
all of those people in the White House, the White House is a hotspot.
I shouldn't hate on someone who's obviously sick, but I'm like, dude, are you just in denial right now? Like, your hands. What's wrong with your hands?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. No. Sorry. No. Anybody who knows Star Wars knows that reference. Yeah. No. Sorry. Star Wars is big on my head today.
Mandalorian. He's just counting down. Mandalorian.
I'm just counting down. We're done with the show. Mandalorian. I haven't even turned it on to see if I could stream the entire season, or are they teasing us with one episode a week, which will kill me because I'm like, no, I need this now. I need just to sit on my couch and put on my Star Wars Wookiee mask and just sit there and watch it and make faces at it. I will too. It's just why we're talking about. Hold on, while we're on air, I can hold on. We can participate.
Oh, where's our mascot?
We have our official show mascot. He's here. See you.
Baby Yoda.
In case you're wondering, our show does have a mascot. He sits on set every day. He's a big part of it. So Baby Yoda in the house. Yeah. So you can't send this to me for Christmas if you were planning on it. I mean, we'll take multiples, but we'll donate them. But this is our Baby Yoda. It's our show mascot. We're very proud of him. He has his own stool that he sits right behind me and watches the show. Yes, I have a doll. I do. I have a doll. Go enjoy that, Trump. I'm sure you guys will send me hate mail. And remember, that is hello@tothepointtv.com. Yes. So Mitch McConnell. Oh God. But I digress. So Mitch, we've got something for you. This roll of tape. You might need it to put your hand back together because it looks like you need to wrap it. It's scary looking. Really scary. Like, how do you sit at the table and like, hold on, let me eat with this paw? It's all like if he shoots electricity out of it, he's the emperor.
Done.
He's just creepy. Skywalker.
I might go watch that actually.
Here we go. This is where we're at in life. I don't know. I'm excited that the election's over, but I don't know what's like right after it. And exactly. That's the bigger concern. And I think a lot of people in America are kind of feeling this like anxiety. Like I woke up this morning, like a great weight had been taken off my shoulders by just simply thinking like, finally, this is over. Like next weekend, we'll be talking about the results and where we're going from here. I don't think we'll still have an elected leader by then. I think this will become unless these numbers turn out to be right. I mean, they can be. I know we're all punch drunk because of what we saw happen in 2016 when everybody said Hillary had this in a landslide and she didn't. But we also didn't have this many people voting. Now, I do agree with folks that we should be concerned about the shy Trump voters that don't come out and scream how much they support him, or the normal voter, as I call them, that support Trump. And I have no issue with that. If you are a normal Trump supporter, there's nothing wrong with that. That's your guy. You know, you're not flying 100 flags. You're not going around spitting on people, threatening to beat people up, because we have those people. We have people who get removed from airlines and they're like, oh, they removed me because I'm wearing a Trump shirt. Maybe because you were drunk and being a jackass. That might be more of the reason why you were removed from a flight. Or, oh, I got beat up by Antifa. Or maybe you beat up Antifa and you got jumped because you're dumb and you went into a freaking gunfight with a freaking stick. You don't go up and sucker punch somebody in a large group by yourself and walk away unscathed. That just doesn't happen. In the Marine Corps, they call that dumb. And if you do that sober, you just deserve to be the crap beat out of you. I mean, you shouldn't do it drunk either, but let's just say I've seen dumb things when you're drunk. Marine Corps. I don't know, Jordan. It's weird. We both look at it from a different perspective. You're a, millennial woman, obviously. We can figure that out. Woo, good, Eric, you're smart. But you look at it so how do you see it? Because I have something I'm gonna say because it's something that's come back to me. I'll ask you, and you can tell me if you've probably heard it too. I hear this all the time when people call me, message me, send me hate mail, DM me. Thanks, guys, for your DMs. Some of you are really positive. Love you. Others of you have you're angry. You probably should go punch something. Not me. I don't like being punched. Not a fan. But am I different? I mean, obviously I'm a jackass. But I find I keep hearing, it's weird. You're a white guy, you're a Marine, and you are not conservative. And I'm like, I'm vocal. I don't sit on the sidelines. I say things, I think, for arguing Eric's case, as me. It's good to argue.
Eric representing Eric.
Eric representing Eric. I have this multiple personality thing going. Hold on. Yes, Eric, we agree. No. I think what I do, and I think that's what makes our show that we have. I think what I do is I say, I have the uncomfortable conversations that you don't want to sit down and have at your dinner table. I have that difficult conversation that you won't see these overplayed puppets on Fox, CNN, and all the other networks that they'll sit there and they're just sugar-coated and they don't care. They go home and they say they're whatever they need to say. And they're motivated by somebody who's handing them cash and putting it in their pocket. I can't be bought. I won't be bought. I won't sell out because I'm just going to call it like I see it, because at the end of the day, I'm just a guy who has a family and loves his country. I'm embarrassed by a lot of things that have gone on in my country, and I've never been able to use my voice till now. And now we have this amazing show that we've made that we can go do it. I don't think I'm different. I just think everybody stereotypes veterans, and there's a lot of me. I can give you guys a breakdown. I don't know if it's been on, I don't think I've publicly shared this, but the Military Times just put out an article where it broke down. They did another survey. In August, they found record numbers of veterans that were supporting Biden. Now, they did the same survey again here in October, and the numbers came back that it's basically split. Still very high amount of veterans voting for Biden, but the people voting for Trump, the veterans that they surveyed that were voting for Trump, were all 65 or older. I mean, that's kind of the same that goes for these officers that he has that support him. Which is odd because, Mattis and a whole bunch of others actually are in their 60s, serve their country. So it's just weird. Do you look at that when you look? Do you think all veterans? Let me ask you. Do you think all veterans are Trump people?
I think that it's assumed that a lot of veterans are for Republicans. I think that's just in general. I don't even think it's like a Trump thing. I think it's just a stereotype because a lot of people equate the military to violence when that's not really the case. And I wouldn't have been so enlightened had I not been with someone who was in the military for a period of time. Yeah. I think that, when you fight for the country, you're not just fighting because you want to fight. Some people do to fight, but I think you're fighting for the rights of the basis of the country, and it's your job as a soldier, regardless of whatever wing you're in. I think that you're fighting for the voice of all, and I think that people assume that it's always going to be Republicans because I think people see a lot of, because so many older demographics and like officers and stuff and like generals and things that are in the public spotlight are so vocally for Trump and stuff like that, they assume that that's the mentality of all people in the military. Yeah. I think that, you are different in the sense that you've given, a lot of people don't understand that we self-distribute the show, and being able to do that gives us the freedom to have our own voice and invite the right people. And the fact that we show different areas, we're obviously not like bipartisan, but we do have shows that show people from all different sides. And I think that
we do put Republicans on every once in a while.
We put Republicans on. I mean, but I think that it's, your duty as like, because once part of the military, you're always part of the military, you're a veteran. And I think that you're continuing to fight the good fight by sharing the voices of others, which you do on the show. You obviously have your own opinion. But I think what I love about our show, which is what has made it, I think, successful, is that we want to continue to share voices and give voices to those that don't feel like they're being heard. And I think that the stereotype of the fact, like, I'm a blonde white girl and you're like a white dude, like a white older dude, right? Like with the two of us, like people have so many stereotypes. But I think the fact that we shatter them by continuing to be disruptive, by continuing to talk about tough subjects and talk about how we're different and that we care about helping others who are different.
I like that. I agree. So let me ask you this. You're voting, obviously voting in this election. You live in New York, which has been decimated by COVID-19. Obviously, the current president used to reside in New York. You're a female. Women already struggle in the workplace as it is. There's supposed big changes. But his administration, the women that he has surrounding him, are some of the most bitter, evil women that you could ever have on the planet. They almost turn on their own to do it. They're not the Cheryl Sandbergs of the world, the real leaders of the world. They're not the Michelle Obamas of the world. Instead, we have the, Megyn Kellys and the
resentful Barbie dolls, as I like to call them.
I mean, they're all plastic.
Yeah.
They just say whatever Trump said, whatever pleases the orange pumpkin is who they're like, yep, whatever he says goes. They don't care. They don't wear masks. They're just like, Kellyanne Conway, we all know. I mean, it's weird. Her daughter has been silent. I believe they silenced her.
She messed up.
Oh, because she leaked everything. She told everything.
No, the big thing that Kellyanne Conway's daughter, who everyone I think was really rooting for as like a voice of her generation. I've been into Perez Hilton a lot lately. He's one of my guilty pleasures, but he's actually been reporting a lot of interesting stuff. And Kellyanne Conway's daughter had a birthday party that everyone came and no one wore masks. And people were like, we were rooting for you. Like, you're supposed to be supportive. So I think, sorry, finish. What was your question?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I have a whole new question already. I came up with. I have in my notes here. We have like two more. What I was asking is how you feel as a woman in 2020 dealing with this. At the end of the day, we have Kamala Harris, which I'm so excited to even have as a VP, a woman of color.
Oh, I think she saved the election in many ways. The fact that she's part of I think she saved the election.
I think it's weird because we ended up with two old white dudes. Again, you're talking about all the people we had for diversity. I just think our country's not ready for somebody like Pete Buttigieg. I don't think we're ready for a Tulsi Gabbard, who are progressives, who speak out, who call out. They don't toe the party line. They're very Rogan-esque, if that's a word. We'll make it one. Webster Dictionary. Go put Rogan-esque in there. I mean, you're sitting here. Obviously, you work in. Besides this wonderful show, you work a lot with movies and movie production. You're an actress, you're a producer, you're involved in this. You've been deeply affected by this. But as a woman, you, Augie Duke, Victoria, all those people that are kind of part of the folks that we put on this show, y'all seem to all support Joe Biden, obviously. But I mean, like, do you feel that our current president just doesn't care about what you think of, not as just a millennial, but as a woman in the workplace, as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner today?
The fact that it's 4 days to the election and I'm still hearing all of this talk about abortion and talk about women's reproductive rights, and we're still fighting for equality in the workplace. I mean, the only thing that makes me different than a lot of other women who work in businesses, I own my own business, which gives me the ability to do what I want, say what I want without the grimes of affecting others. I respect the people that trust me to represent them, like you. And I'm very vocal about my beliefs and how I feel about things. And if people don't agree with that, that's fine. I respect us all to mentally shake hands with each other. I think that this administration not only has been anti-women, but I think anti-Rogan-esque women, because I think there's a lot of women that feel very aligned with that because they believe in old 50s mentalities about the women in the family unit and stuff like that. But I think we live in a different world now. We live in a world that people want to be different. People want to have rights. People want to be acknowledged. And I think one thing that it really showed, even those that were the Trump supporters, like all the for lack of a better word, like rednecks in the middle, like the south of the country, who no one really listened to, and they thought that no one cared about their vote. They felt represented with Donald Trump, and I understand and respect their pain and why they got there. I don't agree with it, but I understand and respect their narrative. In terms of how I feel now, I feel that women and small business owners, I think small business owners have been completely annihilated by this, by the pandemic. I think that the fact that a lot of super major big box stores received massive PPP loans, and I'm grateful that I even got an SBA loan. Aside from that, I feel that this thing with the stimulus check, there's some people like struggling to survive. It's extremely frustrating. And as a woman, on top of it, is the icing on the cake. People expect me to work. I had a conversation the other day with somebody who was very ageist against me. It wasn't just the fact that I was a woman, it was my age. And I think that's because we've made it okay to judge people who are younger and are feminine. And I really don't appreciate that.
I amen for everything you said, my dear. That was the shit right there. That's exactly what we're talking about. It's two different opinions, two different people. That's exactly our show. Our opinions are very similar. We both support Joe Biden. We believe, well, we're pretty equal in what we believe, but obviously two different perspectives, not two different opinions. Mm-hmm. I did use the wrong word, which happens quite often. So before you go, we'll close on entertainment. We're done with the election. You'll hear me on Monday. We have an amazing guest on Monday, but let's finish it on the Kardashians. So if you haven't been on social, you've seen a joke. Kim Kardashian celebrated her 40th birthday by taking all of her friends and family to a private island. And to add the creepiness factor to 1,000, Kanye, come fresh from his Joe Rogan appearance, gave his wife for her 40th a hologram of her father. I was wondering if we could ask the hologram, where did you put OJ's murder weapon? But I was told that was inappropriate to ask. So I figured I'd ask on my show since I own it. Well, I figured, who the hell wants a hologram of my wife lost her father. And I asked her, I said, would you ever want me to give you a hologram? Not that I ever would, but would you? And she's like, no, that would be weird. Like, weird. It's cool having like Tupac at Coachella with it on there. That's dope. That's sick. I like that. Mm-hmm. That was fresh. But he was performing. It wasn't like he was standing there like, hi, Kim, I miss you greatly. And yeah, one of the biggest guilts I've had, not is that we didn't bond, is that I never confessed that I completely know OJ murdered 2 people and got away with it. I don't think he said that, but that would be dope if he did. But that's my personal opinion, again, on the show, just shining through. But what did you think of all this? And then it turns out somebody, a Kardashian, tested positive for COVID.
Oh, yeah, and they all had no masks.
Of course. Shocking.
Shocking.
Do you think we'll ever rid the world of the Kardashians, where we'll have to hear about them, or because they're everywhere, we will have to hear from them? I think
they're on their way out. I think so much of entertainment has been fizzling out. I've seen. I think they were talking about the end of the Kardashians, the end of like Grey's Anatomy, all these big long running shows. I think one thing that's really come to light due to the quarantine is the fact that people miss spending actual time with people versus watching mindless lifestyles of other people because they wish they had that life. I think that if we can learn anything from this, that privilege is not about how much money you make, it's how much time you get to spend with your family. And I think it's about sharing people's voices and being a community. And I think the Kardashians, they've been so supportive of Donald Trump. I look forward to seeing what's going to happen after next week. Kanye West has been an epitome of a mental illness in complete stress anxiety during a time where a lot of the world is suffering. And instead of coming together and support and being a voice of a bunch of people who are feeling anxiety at this time, instead it was used as an entertainment ploy. And that just proves they live in this alien lifestyle. I hope they're on their way out, because I don't believe it's important to see what millionaires and billionaires spend money on. Instead, I want to know how I can become, like Kylie Jenner is so funny to me, because I keep thinking she's older, but she's like 23 or something, right? And I think that if you could be on Forbes and say that you're a billionaire, even though there's speculation behind it, but wouldn't you rather like teach a course to other 21-year-olds about how they too could be self-made millionaires? No, instead, I'm going to completely proselytize my lifestyle and my children and my family and just, I think reality TV, or I'm hoping reality TV is on its way out in some ways.
I hope so, because that brings up a whole nother show. We can talk about it when we do an. I mean, we do a WTF every week, but when it's just you and I and we don't have a guest, we could probably go deeper. But I agree with you. Reality TV, this culture, this belief that, just like crapping on people who don't have. I just think it's inappropriate. They went and did that, and they're like, it's like rubbing in. Like, there's people who are dying. There are people who have nothing. They don't know where they're getting their next meal. They don't know where they're going to get their next paycheck. They look at their country. Their country has failed them. We have people. We have asylum seekers in our country. They're all drug dealers, according to most of the people who are voting for this man. This man believes that. Families are being destroyed by this. We forget. It just disgusts me that we forget where we came from. We have no problem thinking that we have this. We hated the English, so we got away from them because they have this class structure. But it's okay for people like the Kardashians to like rub it in how great their life is and not help anybody not give it back. Like they just want to be, haha, look what we have. And then we crap on immigration in our country. We're like, everybody's a drug dealer. Well, I guess all of our relatives were drug dealers. So if you have your family's name at Ellis Island, you're a scumbag too, according to, if we're going off what we're talking about in 2020, it's the same damn thing now. And it's just so frustrating. So I don't want to go off on that. I want to close on this because it's Halloween tomorrow. And you produced a movie, and we had the two leads on our show. So because I just love Augie Duke and Michael and that amazing team that was there, and obviously you're my producer and co-host, so I got to give you some love. Where can folks find 645? Because I want to watch it myself. I want to pump that out, and everybody who's on here, I don't care if you watch the whole movie. Share it with your friends. Share people. Promote it, please. They come on our show. If you know anything about working in Hollywood, making films right now is so tough because in some states they're following guidelines. They have SAG guidelines they have to follow. You've seen that with everybody that we've had on. Just last week, our guest last week touched on it. I'm sure Jordan could go in depth all by herself about what's going on and how hard it is. Jordan was part of the production team that put together that amazing movie 645. So how do folks go get that? How can we get that kind of to the world so people can watch it? It's a Halloween movie. I think it's perfect.
It's a Halloween movie. I think, okay, so 645 isn't officially out, but you can go watch the trailer, which is officially out, and support the team behind it at 645 Movie on Facebook and Instagram. Go to 645movie.com. I hope I'm saying it right. I keep saying it between 645 Film and 645 Movie. We'll figure it out. But go check out 645 Movie 100% on Facebook. You can find updates. We just had some great press. We were in Collider. There's some new stuff that came out the other day with an exclusive clip with Armin Garrow and from The Departed. So we've had some great people in the film. Augie and Michael have been amazing. And we are so lucky to film this right before quarantine. Literally, we went into lockdown the week after we finished filming. It's been a labor of love, but it's Halloween. We want to hear from you. And please like, subscribe, and share. And the amazing Thomas Waits is in it and directed by the very talented Craig Singer. Look at that. It's like I'm not even on the staff and I know everything. It was so good. Well, by the way, everybody, we will include the trailer in our YouTube link. So you can go down and we'll drop it in. It's also here in Facebook. So make sure for Facebook, you go up and you see it in there. It's in the notes. So above where you see how to follow our show, you'll see the notes to go watch the trailer. All I'm asking for you folks to do, if you want to do anything, people always ask me, what can we do for the show? Share that. Share that because it means something to Jordan and I. We bust our butt to put the show out every week because we just love you guys. You guys kind of follow us as we kind of follow this trail of putting this out. So you guys have news that's our kind of spin on it. So it's your kind of spin. And go share this. These folks, you see them as guests on our show. We're going to have more of them on our show. They're amazing folks working hard. Craig Singer put together an amazing team, including Jordan. Thomas Waits is a legend when it comes to it. Armin Garrow, same thing. The Warriors. The Warriors, baby. And, Augie Duke and Michael Reed, very talented, actors out there. So make sure you do that. Go check it out. Share it for Halloween. Do it for Halloween. Share it. And Remy Ma is in it, everybody. So if you guys like her music, she is in the film. I appreciate that. And also that goes along with the fact that a lot of you guys supported Space Force. So thank you for sharing the other people that we like to mention in our shows. And I would love the feedback and support with 645. And if you want to be a guest on To The Point with Eric Mitchell, please submit a request to booking@tothepointtv.com or comment below. I will be answering all your lovely emails and I look look forward to meeting each and every single one of you, even the haters. I actually love you the most.
Haters? She wants to hear from you. Put those to Jordan, not to
Oh.
Eric.
Not to Eric.
Make sure you direct those there. So to wrap up, folks, I hope you guys have a great Halloween weekend. We're on our way to November. Don't forget to turn your clocks. Fall back. So turn your clocks back. Make sure if you're going to vote in person, vote safely. There are several links will provide on Monday. And this is a very serious note to end the show. If you go and you vote on November 3rd, there are things that you can do to make sure you are protected. We have partnered with a few different folks, including the Lincoln Project, to make sure that if you go and you vote and you see these crazy militia people or somebody's harassing other people in line, whether it be the color of their skin and it's causing them not to vote, if you see that there's being voter suppression, we will provide you links and numbers for you to call that it can be taken care of swiftly so it can be documented. We don't want to take this thing to court, but we have to protect voter suppression. Voting is one of the greatest rights we have, and we cannot let anybody, including these militias that I wanted to serve and didn't, and all these other hate groups that are out there that are trying to sway the vote, whether it's persecuting women, people of color, or people in the LGBTQ community. Those are things that we need to make sure we're handling. Voter suppression is something that should be taken serious in this country because that's the only fear we have. Not voter fraud, because that's only happened 143 times in the 2016 election. 134 times, folks. That's it. That's it. Not 134,000, 134. So voter suppression isn't there. If you haven't voted, you can't mail your ballot in now. You know that. It's too late. You got to go drop it off or you got to vote in person on November 3rd. Check out your polling places and do it. We will provide links. If you are harassed, if any of you see harassment, please report it. Don't take it as a joke. Just think it's not your job to do. It is. If we want to make sure that we're fighting what we're fighting for, and we're America, we need to do that. And keep in mind, November 4th, you will wake up and you will still live in the freest country in the world. And we're not saying it's great, but if we do our job and we vote the right way and we vote locally and you read your measures, make sure you're reading all of them because we found ones. I'll give a real fast, and I know we're going long today, but this is important to me. If you're voting now, if you're like, okay, I'm studying, I'm going to go vote in person. God bless you. Wear a mask, keep social distance. If you're seeing people not do that, make sure you say something. You have a right. They have to follow CDC guidelines at these places. But keep in mind, read every measure, read everything, because these people are suckers on both sides. They will slide things in there. Perfect example, in the state of Oregon, they tried to say if you carried cannabis on you, which is legal here, they were like, oh, well, I read it and I was like, oh, sweet. Now, if you carry any of it on you, you find some crooked cop, they could technically charge you because it's not federally accepted. Well, they said, hey, we'll just make it so you don't have to worry. It's like a slap on the hand. Nothing happens. It's just you're released. Well, they also put meth and crack into there. And I was like, no, those are like serious Schedule 1 drugs. So I kindly ask for you guys to make sure that you go do that. If you've already voted, I know a lot of you have commented that you have voted, and we're thankful for that. I don't care who you voted for. I am proud to say that here at To The Point, I voted for Joe Biden. I support Joe Biden. I'm not saying he's my favorite, but I proudly put my vote behind Joe Biden as a member of our military, as a business owner, as a father, as a husband, as a friend. Joe Biden is the best thing to happen because the last 4 years has been the biggest cluster dumpster fire I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen so much bigotry and hatred from people who claim to be those people. And I singled out several of them today, and I don't take back my words on those people. Those people are haters. They are the people that hate everybody, and they use their pulpit for hate. So I'm going to use my pulpit to counter hate. And by the way, last thing. And then Jordan, you can say your final words.
And
I'm on an Eric pulpit rant here.
This is an important day, guys. We're talking about voting. It's something that we've been really passionate about the last couple months. A lot of the press out there has been leading up to Tuesday. I think it's fine we're going long. I think it's important to show you that we are practicing what we preach. And it's not just because we have this show. I think it's important, no matter what side you're on, to vote. So I'm going to let you finish, and then I have some stuff for you.
Yeah. People, we need to vote. Everyone has that right. And I know I kiddingly said, if you don't vote, you don't have an opinion. You do. You live in America. We just need to make sure that we're doing our part. And people ask this all the time of why I support Joe Biden and why not Donald Trump. And I have my reasons, and I can, if you ever want to privately message me, I'll gladly share my reasons. But I'm proud to say that this show supports Joe Biden. We're not saying he's the number one guy. Mm-hmm. We're saying that he's going to make a difference in our country, because the current person who's in office is not making a difference in our country. We've never been so divided before in our lives. And we have to survive as a country. And we're at that point, just like you've heard in Star Wars. And you've heard, it's so funny that I'm saying that. Queen Amidala said it best, that this is how democracy dies, to thunderous applause. And we see that at rallies. Wear your mask, people. See, COVID isn't going to go away. We have to take it serious. And I challenge you that no matter what happens on November 3rd, that you hold your head high and you remember one thing: don't just go put the stupid vaccine into your body. Demand that those people who are elected and sit in Washington, D.C., whether his last name is Biden or his last name is Trump, Pelosi, McConnell, Gates, or whoever, you want to see them take this vaccine long before you endanger your family to put a vaccine that's been fast-tracked to you to copy what the Russians are doing. Putin didn't put in his body, and you damn well know Trump's not going to. So you need to demand it. Right. Demand that you see these things, because we have rights as Americans, and we have a right to not be forced to put things in our body. Remember, you do have your freedoms, and there's more than just the Second Amendment. So that's what I have for you guys today. I'll let Jordan finish up. I just want to make sure you all know that you can vote. The Lincoln Project is a proud partner of To The Point. We love those folks over there. They've done amazing things. You know, it's bringing everybody together. This isn't a military verse. No, none of that. And I want to assure you guys on one thing, and I get asked this a lot. You can be assured that the men and women who are in our uniform right now, no matter what they are ordered to do, they will not turn against us. They will not attack us. You don't have to worry about this fear that the far right and the president and the crazy people with the hats want you to believe. No, they will not come after you, so don't live in that fear. Go vote. The National Guard will be deployed to protect us from protesters and rioters. Those people are bad. But do your right, go vote, and don't vote in fear. Vote for the fact that you live in the freest country in the world, and you do the right thing, we get the right guy in office, and we take this cluster dumpster fire away. That's what I have for you guys today. Jordan, you can close out the show today.
I'm going to close up the show. I think, to piggyback off what Eric said, go vote. It's your American right. And, if you want to make change, you have the power to change. Yes, your voice can create change. You never know. Also, there's plenty of support in different states if you need help getting to the polls. Kevin Schumacher, who was on last week, was personally driving people to the polls who cannot get to the polls. He lives in South Carolina. Everybody should, take safety precautions, wear your mask, wear gloves, bring hand sanitizer. If you have not mailed in your ballot, there's other ways to vote. There's plenty of resources. If you need resources, please comment below. Please connect it To The Point. There are plenty. We both Eric lives on the West Coast. I live on the East Coast. We have plenty of resources available. We want to empower you to create change, regardless of what side you're on. It's your right, and you can help change the face of this election. Amen.
That's what we have for you, folks. Enjoy your weekend. On behalf of Jordan and I and our entire team out here at To The Point, I already tell you guys to be safe and be strong and be smart. You guys already all know that, but tonight we're going to leave this exactly what I believe. Just God bless America. Love what you do and be safe. That's all that really matters anymore. Wear a damn mask, social distance, and don't be afraid to use your voice. You have a right to use it, but God, wear a mask. It's so serious. I know people don't take it serious, but I can't be serious enough. I just traveled. I'm getting all emotional about this shit, but I saw so many people not wearing a mask, and I see these COVID cases going higher and the death counts going higher, and it's scary as crap because you don't want one of your loved ones, and we're just a few short weeks away from the holiday season really getting into full swing where we're going to be sitting down, and there's people going to sit down at tables without their loved ones on Thanksgiving, and then we have Hanukkah and Christmas, and people are going without loved ones this year. This isn't the flu. Don't let people tell you that all this other stuff. Wear your mask, do your part, and don't be afraid. You're not conforming. I love that people call it that, folks. It's not that. Just vote, do your part, wear a mask, love one another. That's not that difficult to do. You don't need to be violent. Oh, that's what I was going to finish with, and it's something serious. Again, I'm serious part 2. I know that there's a lot of evil people out there that are on our social, and you want to speak up and you want to attack them. But we have to be the bigger people. And I think that's what makes us different than the Trump people. So I'm asking anybody who supports Biden and doesn't agree with Trump to, for the next 4 days and beyond, be the bigger person. Don't comment. Really? Don't respond. Don't troll. All social media has an unfollow button or a mute button. If you're on Twitter, you can hit the mute button. You can stop seeing people on Instagram. You can unfollow people on your Facebook so you don't have to see it. Do not engage with these people. Do not try to be, we're bigger than you. No, let the polls speak. That's what we do. We're bigger than these trash can people, these people who have nothing to say positive and just attack. Let people like me go on my show and I'll attack them. I'll be your voice. Let me do it. I'll handle the haters. They don't scare me. I spent too many years in the Marine Corps to give two shits about somebody who threatens my life because they don't scare me or my family. My wife's from the mean streets of Stockton, California. Trust me, she's not scared either. We don't care. We don't. What I want you guys to do is don't lower yourself to those folks' standards, because this show, we're above that. That's what I'm here for. I go below the standards for you, so I yell at them. You just quietly sit there. So do your part. Don't engage with them. Turn off your social if you have to. Just make sure you turn back in on Monday so you can watch the show. You can always catch us on YouTube, so make sure you go check us there. And as always, make sure you smash that subscribe button, because we always love subscribers, and share with a friend. But in all seriousness, on behalf of Jordan and I, this is the final time I'm going to say this. Thank you for letting us go long today. I appreciate you if you stayed on and watched the whole thing. We greatly appreciate you, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Have yourself a great holiday weekend with Halloween. Don't eat so much candy. Make sure you check your candy. Crazy people out there. And make sure, wear your mask, not just your Halloween mask. And God bless America.
Let's get to the point. Let's get to the point with Eric Mitchell. We gon' talk about sports and the politics. You gon' hear what you've been